and there is no excuse. And the moment you will do that, you will take the first step towards starting to deserve a selection. Timer in phone. There will be a WhatsApp, there will be a Telegram, there will be a call. You know? So put your phone on airplane mode. Keep it in an almirah when you are studying. Timer with you. I have told you about the timer. I've told you about the timer? No. Okay. So everyone, online and offline, all my students will buy a small timer. 200 rupees, 300 rupees, whatever. But go on Amazon and order. It is a small machine which can be, I forgot to bring it today. So it's a small machine which you, not timers on your phone, on your watches. No. Because the moment you try to put timer in phone, there will be a WhatsApp, there will be a Telegram, there will be a call. You know? So put your phone on airplane mode. Keep it in an almirah when you are studying. Fine. How will you do? Airplane mode. Keep it in an almirah. Then you will take your timer. You will switch it on. Start. And then you will study. Initially, it will be very difficult. Very, very difficult. Every 20 seconds, you will be reminded of something very important in your life, other than studying. You will be reminded, भूख लग रही है. You will be reminded, अरे अभी अभी तो वॉशरूम जाना था. पानी नहीं भरा. नींद आ रही है. I have to talk to my parents. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do what else and what not. You know? So this will go on till 15-20 days. Don't worry. Persist. You know? For 15-20 days, it will feel like hell. ये पता नहीं मैम क्या बता देती हैं, क्या करना है ये, मतलब इट्स सच अ वेस्टफुल एक्टिविटी. वैसे भी तो नहीं पढ़ाई हो रही है ना. पढ़ाई क्यों नहीं हो रही? बिकॉज व्हेन यू विल कीप योर फोन्स इनसाइड, देन there will, we have been addicted to the phones. Just as there are withdrawal symptoms, there are withdrawal symptoms when a person who is alcoholic, who is a smoker, who is a druggist, they feel some withdrawal symptoms. We all have been addicted to phones. We'll also feel some craving and withdrawal symptoms. And this will happen. If this will happen, I'm telling you right now, you will have all kinds of thoughts, all important things will come to your mind. What will you do? You will keep a notepad on the side. Anything important coming to your mind, you will write there. Write there, write there, write there. This is you have started studying for 1 hour, or you have scheduled only 2 hours, starting schedule for 1 hour only. 1 hour per slot. Because I can see that you people have not become accustomed to long hours of sitting right now. We will have to increase that period also, but we will do it again slowly. And you will have to trust the process. Fine. So 1 hour timer, phone रखा, timer on किया, पढ़ाई पे बैठे. 1 घंटा हो गया, timer बंद. Go to the almirah, take your phone. है ना? 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you want to do it, do with your phone, do. Then keep it again, come back, again timer. So even with this process, if you study for 5 hours, at least those 5 hours are fruitful. Yeah. Very fruitful. And starting, when you will devote these 5 hours, you will be so distracted because of those withdrawal symptoms of phone, because of not being in habit of studying. You know? We people enjoy playing victim. What is that? What is the victim play? Oh, I'm not able to study because such an environment at old Rajendra. I'm not able to study because of this. I'm not able to study because of that. But now, when you are given 1 hour, nothing to do except studying, but you are not in habit of studying because you enjoy cribbing about studying. You have grown into enjoying telling lies to yourself or to other people that, UPSC is so difficult. We have to study 10 hours a day. But in essence, you are not studying 4 hours a day. Isn't it true? Yeah. And so when you become, when you are forced to sit for 1 hour with nothing at hand, and you know a target that I have to finish, I have to revise. So environment has been done, so I have to revise that. Or maybe ethics we will do, I have to revise that class notes. So now you have a fixed target, no distraction. And now you study. And first time you will realize that studying is difficult. And there is no excuse. And the moment you will do that, you will take the first step towards starting to deserve a selection. Till the time you are not doing that, anyone promising you your selection is a lie. And if you don't start behaving like officers, no one can make you officers. Start behaving like officers means discipline. Do you really feel that an officer should be roaming here and there? No? Then why are you roaming? Do you feel that officer should be the one who should be making excuses, blaming others? Why are you blaming? If you think that officers should be doing shots or viral, क्या होता है वो reel? हाँ, so swiping here and there or watching Facebook too much. No? Pakka? So should you be doing it? So before you desire to become officers, start to deserve being an officer. And from now on, I'll not be teaching students, I'll be teaching officers.
Every single day, the attention span of the human race is decreasing, and a recently published study shows that it is all because of the amount of content that we are being presented with. I'm sure you have seen the effects because it is much harder to now read a novel rather than just scroll away with YouTube shorts or Instagram reels. Anytime we sit down to do something meaningful, be it study for exams or practice a new song on the guitar, we are bombarded with a lot of notifications which distract us and kill our precious time. Around this time last year, I was stuck with this cycle of waking up, being motivated to do something, wasting my entire day and feeling regretful in the end. I broke out of that cycle and did something meaningful in life which I'm currently proud of. And in this video, I'll be sharing you how exactly I did it and what are the steps you can take right now to quickly get rid of the distractions and be more focused on what you want to achieve in life. If you're new here, hi, my name is Anuj Pachel. I'm a final year MBBS student at Government Medical College Nagpur, and if you like to see videos like this, please consider subscribing. Without any further ado, let's go. Number one, don't rely on motivation to be your sole factor driving you from one point to other point. Always plan out a discipline and stick to that discipline, because motivation is always temporary, but if you build a habit, you don't have to think about it before doing it. After waking up in the morning, brushing our teeth is a natural habit. It is a discipline which we have formed through all the years of practice. Now we don't have to be motivated to brush our teeth, it just is, we just have to do it. Even if you have so many other things to do, we always stop and brush our teeth. I mean, most of us do. So let's say that you want to study every single day, but whenever you sit and study, something comes up and you have to go away. But if you make studying an indispensable part of your life, your mind will rearrange things and make time for that particular thing to happen. So the actionable step here would be to write down all the things which you want to be an indispensable part of your life, and then try to work out in which part of your day will that thing particularly fit. After you have done it for 10 to 20 days, you will form a habit, and gradually every single time you have to do it, it will be less friction and more work done. Because you just don't have to think about it anymore. It won't feel a chore, it will just feel like a habit. But number two, you might be feeling कि तुम Instagram पे time काफी waste कर रहे हो या तुम YouTube पे time काफी waste कर रहे हो. So do one thing, measure where you're spending your time. Open up your screen time reports, screen time analytics, and see where your time actually is going. Once you find out कि these are the things which are killing your time, you can go ahead and remove that. Personally, for me, I spend a lot of time on YouTube because I like watching YouTube videos, I like making them, and secondly, I spend a little bit more time on Instagram than I should be spending. So there are two ways in which you can control your application or mobile phone use. First one is that add more friction to be able to use the app. So what people do is people uninstall Instagram, uninstall YouTube right before the exams come up. So it increases the friction for you to access those apps. For example, you'll have to go to the app store and download it and then log in to actually see what you always were seeing. Another way to beat the system is to move your app to the last page on your wallpaper screen, so that the next time you have to access it, you have to scroll a lot. That increases the friction, and the more friction you have, the less time you're going to spend on your phone. You can also install different types of app blockers which are present on the App Store or the Play Store. They could help, but to be honest, the most important point is that have the willpower to just say to yourself कि नहीं, अब मुझे नहीं देखना YouTube, अब मैं पढ़ाई करूँगा. Once you get that, all of these things are just unnecessary, and your mind has a much bigger app blocker installed rather than just some random app you found on the App Store. Right, the third point is find a time for you to be completely distracted. I mean, in that 1 or 2 hours, just totally go wild and spend time doing whatever you like. Don't even think about work in that point. Once you have that dedicated 1 or 2 hours in your life, what will happen is that the remaining all hours you'll work, so that in the anticipation कि मुझे 2 घंटे इंडियन वेस्ट करना ही है, तो मैं अभी काम कर लेता हूँ. I use this technique a lot because I study throughout the day and the afternoon and the entire evening. It's like जब 5 बज जाते हैं, after that my brain stops working and I go into this hibernation mode where I don't study and don't work and don't film, all of that. So I have this dedicated part of a day in which I'm not working. In fact, I also have a dedicated day available, that is Sunday. So I don't film at all in Sunday. I don't study much in Sunday. I just take a break from everything that I'm doing, so that from Monday I could just start with that zeal, with that charisma once again. But please take this with a grain of salt, because you should be able to in the end limit your distraction hours, ki after you're done with that distraction hour, you don't gradually diffuse that into your productive hours. Right, the next point is set a zone of focus. What do I mean by that? Whenever I'm studying, I set my brain into complete zen focus mode. What it means that in that point I've set up psychological barricades, so nothing can get to me, and only thing that I'm visualizing through my tunnel glaucomatous vision is my studies, and only to complete one particular chapter or complete one particular book. Clear your mind and be focused and have a clear objective of what you want to do. And in that productivity zone, which I call the focus hours, do focus work, which will be 10 times more effective than just doing normal work. It will be like chopping the wood with a very sharp axe rather than with an unsharp one. And the way to sharpen is to be tunnel vision completely, कि अभी कुछ भी हो जाए, 4 घंटे मुझे बैठ के किताब पढ़ना है और मुझे इस समय कोई भी चीज़ पे ध्यान नहीं देना है. कुछ भी हो जाए, जस्ट मैं हूँ, मेरी किताब है एंड मेरी आँखें. That's it. That should be your tunnel vision. So that is what I call focus hours of work, which will be more productive. Next up is very, very important. That is set up a time zone for different activities. I'm currently dealing with 2 most important things in my life. First is finally MBBS and second is YouTube channel. So I have set a complete time zone in which in this particular time period, I will only focus on YouTube versus I'll only focus on final year. So that usually goes something like this. In the morning after I wake up, I spend the first 2 or 3 hours of my life generating new content ideas, filming, shooting, scripting, editing, all of that, because I work more efficiently that way. And in the afternoon from 2 to 5, I focus only on my studies. So I watch lectures, I do question banks, I solve tests, all of that good stuff. And in the evening, I take a complete break, which is my most unproductive hour. Now mind you, this is my timetable when I'm not exam going. When I'm exam going, it's like 20 hours of studies every single day. The next point is that if you're getting too distracted and if you can't focus in one place, it probably is a good indicator that you should probably change up your environment for a few days or a few weeks until you get back to the productive zone that was your bedroom originally. Changing your environment will give you a fresh perspective. It will keep you more motivated. I'm pretty sure you've experienced it. Whenever we go and study in a different place, we are more productive than usual. If you're going to the library, what you can do is sit in a different chair, sit in a different desk, versus if you are at home, you could sit in your dining table, or you can sit in your room, or you can sit in the rooftop, or you can sit on the top of the world. It doesn't matter. I'm actually trying to achieve this myself, because currently in this room I manage my studies, I manage my channel, and it sometimes gets a bit blurred because my mind does not focus on studying and my mind does not focus on the channel. It just doesn't focus at all. So what I'm trying to achieve in the next 2 or 3 months is hopefully make a proper studio for YouTube thing and let this be room kept for only studying and enjoying life, that is. If you don't have a bigger house, what you can do is simply just move your desk around to another angle, and that helps a lot. I did that back in December when I was bored with sitting in the same place for like 2 or 3 years. The next thing is finding meaning in your work. The other day I was watching watching a video, and in that video a person said ki I was going to my classes, but every single day I was in the classes. After 20 minutes I zoned out and I did not understand even one word the professor was saying. So I questioned myself कि मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ अपनी life के साथ, what should I do, and is it really the course for me or is it really the class should I be taking? So the reason he was distracted was not because he was thinking of something else, but rather because the subject which he was taking was not meaningful to him. It's the same reason I did not like Sanskrit in class 7th and 8th. I used to be completely distracted in the class, and it's probably the same reason why you guys in first year MBBS don't like anatomy, because you just don't feel the vibe of it. So unless and until you don't find something meaningful in your work, something meaningful in your studies, you will constantly be distracted because you won't find those things interesting to you. I'll give you an extreme example of finding a meaning in your work thing. So my final exams of third year MBBS ended on a Friday and I had to upload a video on Sunday. So guess what I did? After coming back home when all my friends were going out to parties, enjoying, chilling out, I sat down at 6 p.m. My paper ended at 5 p.m. by the way, and sat the entire night and just edited everything and made a beautiful video that currently has lakhs of views. So the basic idea is this: if you find meaning in your work, nothing will stop you. You won't even get a single thought other than what your work currently is. The next point is, if you're continuously distracted and if you've tried out every single thing which I've talked about in the above points, you should definitely take a break, because I feel like you have burnt out and your life is getting monotonous. You're doing the same routine every single day, and you might feel like you've lived 365 days, but it's actually you've just lived one single day for 365 times. So make sure that you are not doing this to yourself. Make sure that you're taking enough breaks, going on trips, going on adventures, finding your escape, doing something meaningful in life apart from the same routine that you've been following. Break the monotonicity, because it will break you otherwise. The next point is have a clear vision and have a clear goal ki what you want to do in life. When I was in class 12th, I wanted only one thing. I wanted to be All India Rank 1. वहाँ पे एक poster लगा था which says AIR 1 maximum effort. Yeah, that's right. So I had a clear vision. I had written it down and my only goal was to work on it. So whenever I felt distracted, मैं देखता था उसके तरफ like छोड़ ये सब बातें फालतू की, पढ़ाई कर. It might be as extravagant as putting a poster on your almirah, or it could be just simply writing down on your notes app ki I have to achieve this particular thing in a particular day. Pro tip over here: do two kinds of things. First is the short term goals and second is the long term goals. Short term goals is मुझे आज क्या करना है, मुझे 2 दिन में क्या करना है. Long term goals is what I have to do in like 2 years, 1 year, at the end of 6 months. Those are long term goals. Make sure that your short term goals add up in the end to take you towards your long term goals, and having a proper plan of the day will really keep you productive all throughout and you won't feel much distracted. Point number 10 is keeping a log book of your progress. So whenever you're doing something which is very heavy, let us say completing the entire course of MBBS, and you won't really feel much motivated after you've done like 30 or 40% of it. At that point, looking back at your logbook, looking back at every single day progress which you have made really motivates you a lot, and it rids you of all of the distractions. I'll give you an example. Before my university examination started, I did 5 or so question banks of Marrow every single day, and that really felt good to me because it was meaningful. And every single day when I was doing a question bank, I was feeling good that I'm doing justice to the past me who has worked so hard to get here. You can do daily journaling. You can use different apps which keep the record of what you're doing, or you can add voice notes. Do whatever you want. If you want to keep a journal, that would really help you. The last point is the most important point of this video. It is, अगर तुम्हें बहुत distracted लग रहा है, go for a walk, get back in, just sit down and do it. Most of the things in life can be boiled down to this: is first of all, keep your phone in the fridge. And second of all, just sit down and study. That's it. Or sit down and do whatever thing which you're trying to do in the first place, because you know that in the end you have to get it done, and no matter what you do, nobody else is going to do it for you. So if nothing else works, just sit and just start, because starting is the hardest part, and once you just start, it will be very easy. Alright, I really hope that this video helped you out, and if it did, you can help me out by pressing that subscribe button in 2 seconds, because making videos such as this take up a ton of time, effort and energy, and subscribing in 2 seconds would make up for all of that. Thank you so much for watching. It's your boy Anuj. Smash that like button on your way out. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.